Hello, my name is Teo Efford Chase, and I've just completed a 6-week term at Keats School. I have had an amazing experience here. I feel like I've learned quite a lot. I've had a great teacher. I've had a great time living in Kunming as well. Let's see, I guess first what I learned from my teacher. I came in to the school, I'd had a year of Chinese beforehand at my college with a very introductory level course where I didn't really learn very much and it wasn't very good. But I came here with high hopes, and I've had those expectations more than fulfilled. My teacher started off, we started with a little bit of review, and then we moved on and started learning grammar points and vocabulary. I took class for 4 hours every day for 3 weeks, and then I switched and took it for 6 hours for the rest of the time, for the last 3 weeks. My teacher, it felt more like learning Chinese from a friend than it did learning Chinese from a teacher. We told lots of jokes, we laughed a lot, we had our own little end of, sort of by the time class was over, we had our own idiosyncrasies that we could laugh about, and it was cool, you know, because we'd start and we'd get in it, and we could move at my own pace, which was usually it wasn't slow exactly, but it was sort of slower on the vocabulary because I wanted to write down an example for each and every word and everything. So it was nice because in a class with more people, I feel like you have to just rush to keep up, and you don't learn as well. So I feel like my level of Chinese has definitely improved over the time I've been here. One of the things that we did was each Saturday we would have an outside class for 4 hours, which means we would go out into the city and go exploring, and my teacher would take me places, which was very cool. It was great to sort of have a guide to Kunming, and we stopped in bookshops. My teacher introduced me to a couple of her friends who accompanied us, which was really great. We went to a place called Green Lake, and while we were there, we stopped in a bookshop and we found sort of a book of cartoons, I guess, called Tintin, which I liked reading in English growing up, and we found one in Chinese, and we bought it, and then for the rest of the class we read this book in Chinese. And as we started out, it was very difficult. It was not easy for me to read, but near the end I could read like entire little boxes without asking for my teacher to translate anything. So that was sort of an indicator of my progress, which I found very helpful. So I had an amazing experience with my teacher in this school. The rest of the school, in terms of their support and living at the school, was really great too. I lived in a room on the 12th floor of a 20th story building. The school is on the 16th floor. And my room, it had a bed, 2 tables, two lamps, a nice light, a little refrigerator. It had a bathroom, and it was really cool. You know, I just come from college where I lived with a roommate, and there was like communal bathrooms, and this was like, wow, lap of luxury. So it was really cool to sort of be on my own. One of the great things about being on your own here is that Kunming is a very livable city. It's very easy to go out and walk to where you need to go, or to take the bus. The city center of Kunming, where there are a lot of shops and different restaurants, is about, I'd say about a 15-minute walk away. And I'd go there some evenings and have, and sort of eat and go shopping for little souvenirs and stuff. The other thing that was really cool is I got here and I decided that I needed something to get around on. So I walked in, and I walked into the supermarket in the city center the second day after I got here, and walked out with a bike. And for the rest of the time I biked around, and I feel like I got to know some sections of the city pretty well. I feel like I got to know some sections of the city pretty well. I guess the last thing that I want to talk about is Keats School has a great tradition where they do field trips, many weekends, out where they take all the students together along with the teachers and go and visit sort of historical sites or interesting sites around Kunming. My favorite trip that we did was we went to the Golden Temple, which is sort of on a hill, sort of on the edge of the city. Basically, it's sort of an older Chinese temple that was built in the early 1600s, and it was built entirely of bronze. It's 250 tons of bronze, which was pretty impressive to see. Although it looks sort of like the Statue of Liberty in New York City, since it's sort of all gone green now. But it was still fun to see. And besides the Golden Temple site, it was up on a hill, and it had this bell tower where you could climb up and see the entire city, which was really cool. So I guess to conclude, I have had a great time here. I'm pretty sad to be leaving, although I am feeling a little bit homesick. But I do hope to maybe come back next year and continue learning. And I guess my challenge now is to figure out how to continue my Chinese so I don't forget it all between now and then. Thank you so much. Goodbye.